Australia, it is law to carry an anchor if you're boating in the salt water, and that's because an anchor in an emergency situation is one piece of equipment that could save you and your vessel.
But an anchor is so much more than that, whether you're fishing or diving or socialising, perhaps pulling up somewhere for the night. Knowing how to effectively use your anchor to get the best from it will make your day out on the water even more enjoyable. Anchors come in all different shapes and sizes, and it's important to find the one that's right for you and your boat.
Common mistake when anchoring is not letting enough anchor rope out, having the wrong anchor, and not having the right length of chain.
A drifting boat when you're meant to be anchored can be annoying if you're fishing, or downright dangerous if you need to hold firm in heavy weather or during the night. Once you've chosen an anchor, it's vital to ensure it's set up correctly. Now, it's a good idea to get familiar with your anchor. Let's face it, it spends most of its time tucked away in the bow of the boat. You've got to make sure that all the connections are solid, that your D-shackle's not going to give way and you lose your anchor from your rope.
The other thing to ensure is that you have enough chain. Chain is your friend when it comes to anchoring, and a good rule of thumb is at least one boat length, but more will not hurt, and it makes your connection to the bottom solid as a rock. With a well set up anchor and at least one boat length of chain, the next trick is to ensure you let out enough rope. For most situations, there's a pretty simple ratio to remember.
The normal rule for anchoring is if it's a good day, you haven't got much breeze, you only want to put about 3 times the depth out, but if it's starting to get a little bit windier, you probably want to look at putting at least 5 times your depth out.
Yep, let it rip.
If you feel that you're drifting, you may want to take a reference mark back to the shore just to pick up whether you are drifting, and it'll just place some more anchor line out and just see how that sits.
Once you've picked an anchorage or sounded a school of fish and you want to anchor, there are a few basic tips to make the process easier.
Firstly, head into the wind or current. Drive slowly to where you want to drop the pick.
Then lower it to the bottom rather than just throwing the whole thing over the side, because that can lead to tangles.
As the person on the bow drops the anchor, just put the boat in reverse, reverse off, and it'll all lay out nicely. Remember, if there's other boats around you, that you will swing around the anchor as the tide turns, so just bear that in mind. And once you're anchored, take a point of reference off the land. That way you'll know if you're dragging. The most important thing, if you don't have an anchor winch, get someone else to pull it up.
So the simple tips are: make sure you have enough chain. As a bare minimum, that's at least one boat length. Let out enough rope. Remember, 3 times the amount of rope to the depth of water you are in. Slowly reverse off the spot as the anchor is deployed. Give yourself plenty of swinging room and take a point of reference off the land, or set your anchor alarm on your GPS to ensure you're not drifting.